begin? Alright. Hello, our wonderful audience, our honorable judges, my opponents, and my lovely teammates. I'm Nikolai, the first speaker of the proposition team, and today we're debating on the motion, this House regrets social media being the effective tool in building the minds of children. And we, as the proposition team, definitely agree with this motion. In my speech, I will present the definitions to the motion, our value, actuality, and then present our first two arguments. I'd like to begin with the definitions. Social media are online platforms where people create, share, or exchange info and ideas, such as YouTube, TikTok, Twitter, etc. Building the minds, forming someone's perception of the world in a way of thinking and behavior. Children are people between 4 and 14 years old. We as a team value our children's freedom of thought and mental health. In the modern days, children are very exposed to media and are very dependent on it. We as a team believe that to be a bad thing. And today we will prove why we think so. Our case consists of three arguments. The first one is replacing parental roles. The second one is manipulating children's worldview. The third argument is unhealthy mentality. Let's start our line of argumentation. Our first argument, replacing parental roles. In the modern age, parents are often busy with work, going to 9-to-5 office jobs or other tiring work, which is why it's not unusual and even normal for a parent to be way too tired to deal with their children when they are actually with them. In the 21st century, a lot of parents just simply sit their kids down in front of a screen of a mobile phone or a computer and leave them to surf the internet. Many parents also, in the meantime, turn to their own mobile phones instead of catering to kids. And that leads to kids getting a sense of emotional rejection from their parents, which only deepens the problem and makes them go and use the internet more widely. In the modern age, instead of being brought up by their parents, kids are left with social media. We believe that such a shift in upbringing is quite risky and overall harmful. After all, we believe that children should be brought up with their parents, where we know, at least we know for sure that in most cases those children will receive proper treatment, not by social media, where they might adopt questionable morals or views, etc. That is why we regret parents using social media as a tool of upbringing their children. Now, let's go to our second argument, manipulating children's worldview. A child's mind is young and naive. It's almost a blank slate when it comes to opinions. And that blank slate gets filled in the early years of a person's life, their childhood. Traditionally, children were raised in books, cartoons, and later, and most importantly, by their parents. But taking into account what we said in our first argument about children being mostly raised in social media in the current century, children are now growing up on social media instead. And children's curiosity and naivete make what is, in our opinion, a dangerous combination. It's easy to manipulate children's opinions on the world, their views. After all, they are they don't quite understand the world yet. Various groups or individuals online can easily affect children's worldview and the suffering from emotional rejection, which we mentioned in our first argument, can lead to them being interested in such worldviews. On the social media, children might adopt worldviews that could be grim, morally questionable, outright wrong, and even dangerous. Such exposure may lead to children either further in their life adopting those views, or having to live their life traumatized in early childhood by early exposure to hatred or imagery of violence and concepts of death and discrimination. Even if the child adopts a good or perhaps positive worldview, or to be precise, is kind of pointed to adopt that worldview, we still believe that to be morally questionable, as children's naive young minds are being put ideas into themselves, into having ideas put into them, and before that happens before children may grow up and form their own opinions. And we believe that that's an infringement on our children's freedom of thought. And the best way of protecting it is by restricting exposure to media. And that is why we regret social media being the effective tool in shaping our children's worldview. That is all that I want to say in my speech. Thank you very much for your attention.
And now we welcome to the stage the first speaker of the opposition team.
Okay, hello everyone again. Hello dear honorable judges, our dear audience, my teammates, our dear opponents and timekeeper. My name is Mary and I am first speaker of opposition team. My teammates are Slava second speaker, Oля third speaker, and Slava is going to make a last speech. Our today motion is: this House regrets social media being the effective tool in building the minds of children. And we as opposition team, opposition side, we disagree with this. Now I will to start with the refutation of first and second arguments of our dear opponents. Their first argument was about replacing parental roles. Okay, parents have more life experiences, and they want their children not to make their mistakes. They share their knowledge with their children, and social networks only at help. And this, on the contrary, is very cool, isn't it bad? What about arguments about manipulating, I'm sorry. Firstly, manipulation is punishable thing. Children can also tell about this to their parents or their more older friends and ask for advice. It isn't so big problem. Manipulation can be it's not only towards two children, it can be towards all, for all people, and then older people too. Now I will, no thanks, now I will continue our debates with We agree with the definition of our dear opponents. Now I will continue with our importance. Nowadays, all children use social media deeply and it affects to their minds. And we have statistics that say that about 59.6% teenagers in the world are using social medias. And now I will present you our value. We should accept and use social media to shape children's minds in the right way. Now I will present you our case. Our first argument is self-expression and development. Our second argument is free access to information. And our third argument is alternative surrounding and positive role models. Now I will start with our first argument, self-expression and development. Creative skills are being developed. Social media provides opportunities for children to express themselves through posts, videos, or some photos and other forms of content. This stimulates their creative thinking and helps them find ways to express themselves. Also, children can find like-minded people who share their interests and views. This helps them feel accepted and supported in their aspirations and passions. There is also improved communication skills. Social media allows children to communicate and interact with others through comments, messages, and content sharing. This helps improving their communication skills, learning to express themselves and listen to other people. Social media also provides an opportunity for children to learn about different cultures, traditions, and worldviews. It broadens their horizons, helps them better understand the world and develop tolerance and respect for other people. Now I will continue with our second argument, free access to information. Social networks provide to children with a huge amount of information and knowledge. Platforms such as Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, etc., can be used as sources of learning to something new to help children explore different subjects, cultures, and perspectives. You can watch video tutorials to self-teach topics you don't understand. You can find various reports, scientific facts, confirmations, and much more useful information. When you don't understand some topic, you should not you can don't get coach. You can get a video with a tutorial to understand this material, and you did not spend your money. Most importantly, all basic information is publicly available to users that is free of charge. You can exchange lecture notes, laboratory assignments, and other useful information. There is also the opportunity to join a community on a certain topic and study in detail questions about history, for example, or improve your knowledge for a foreign language. To do this, there are links to the necessary literature, photos, and videos, and you can discuss problematic issues with other members of the group. Therefore, it's very convenient and useful. Because of this, our team say that this house does not regret social media being the effective tool in building the mind children, and we're still stronger. Thanks very much for your attention. That's all I wanted to say.
Please welcome to the stage the second speaker of the proposition team.
Меня слышно, да? Все хорошо. Okay. So, good afternoon, dear ladies and gentlemen. We continue our debate, and I'm the second speaker of proposition team. Glad to see everyone in this final round. Wow, tournament. Clap your hands, please. Tournament was really great. So, I want to start. I'm Marina, I'm the second speaker of proposition team. I want to start my speech with the refutation of our opponents, and the second argument, the first argument of our opponents was about self-expression and development. In this argument were several points, and I want to refute every point. First point about making content and creative thinking. But if you really want to express themselves, you're just a naive child, it's really easy to harm you. And there are a lot of very bad and angry people on the internet which can just write in the comments something like, "Oh, you're so ugly," "Oh, you're so cringy," and also so on. So in the future, by this experience, you don't want to express yourself anymore just because you're bullied in social media. Second, about communication skills, and I'm gonna repeat this point with the point that in real life it's too easy to boost your social skills, just because it includes your communication skills in real life, because in texting and messages you can think about something for a few minutes, you can choose the words you want to say, but in real life you can't do this, and if you want to improve your communication skill, real life can boost it well and better than in social media you do, and plus it includes an emotional intelligence which you can just improve in social media just because you need to see the person who you're talking to improve the skill. And third point about different countries, traditions. I think everyone, Crimea is a bright and great example because everyone in auditory, relationships just meet with the other countries, with the other nations people, and you can talk with them too. You can talk with your friends, girl, like Krymsky Tatar nationality nations, and if you want to get some knowledge about this nation, you will get it too. And second argument about free access to internet resources. And first of all, not every children want to boost their knowledges in internet. A lot of the most part of the child's content depends on attraction, entertainment and attraction, like archery vlogs and other. It's not an educational program. It's not an 5 seconds. It's not going to teach you anymore. At least how to spend 24 hours in the school. And the second one, just because information is free, we cannot guarantee the quality of this information. There are a lot of info trash, there are a lot of spam, and social media is also a business, so everyone can tell every information and you will trust it just because you have an analogy, just because you're a naive kid. Your point.
Okay, first of all, we were speaking about children under 18 years old, And when you in school age, you can not understand something in school and go to internet to check it. And it's not
How many children, how many students in a young age want to really understand the information they get at school and don't understand it very well? All in all, it's too easy. It's easier to people. It's easier to children to ask someone else, like teacher, like adulthood, adult ones, and the information which they get, which they can get, will be more qualified. And I think you understand me. So I wanna to continue my speech with our line of counter argumentation. I do the mistakes on every single game. So our third argument about unhealthy mentality. Okay, guys, let's admit the fact that people spend a lot of time in the internet, and our new generation spends a lot of time in internet. So they went, for example, from the school, go to the bed and scrolling. For example, nowadays short video became more popular, and this format was boosted by TikTok and spreaded by some other services such as like YouTube, another cross-gram by Meta, and VK clips, and so on. And the main, they became popular because of two things: because of comfort format and because of quick endorphins which you can get because of these videos. And the main audience of short format videos is children, and truly it's very interesting to them, okay? But does it really worth it? Does it worth the waste of time which children get? And let's imagine the situation. When child just went, child will went to this service, to this format of video, just because they fun, they interesting to them, they don't need do anything, just because I have a choice between my homework maybe and between my phone with these short videos. And of course, I will choose TikTok just because two things. Homework is so boring to me. I need to learn something. I need to, for example, 2 hours. I need to think about something. I need to write. I need to read, and so on. But TikTok is so likely to me. It's just more interesting because the maximum of your chores when you watch videos is to get snacks and be relaxed. Okay? And when the little child compares these two things, they obviously will choose the second one. Over time, a little choices became the more and more endless need of quick endorphins, which I get from the videos. And in my future life, I'll be choosing the easiest way to get endorphins because I get used to in my childhood, just because now I don't care about anything. I'm a little child, but in my adulthood, because of endless need in this, because of addiction, thank you very much. For this, I will be use this way of endorphins. So thank you for attention.
Thank you. Please welcome the second speaker of the opposition team.
Good morning, everybody. Our honorable judge, ladies and gentlemen, our dear opponent, timekeeper. My name is Slava and I'm second speaker of opposition team. I want to start with the refutation or my opponent's third argument. It was about unhealthy mentality where they said that children will choose his smartphone instead of homework or ELSA because it's more interesting. But there are a lot of limits that parents or just the creator of application and that do not let children to do. Also, parents can easily parents see that my children become stop learning, and then parents can easily place parents control on his phone and turn on any apps in his phone, like if there is 12 p.m. you can your phone will block. So next I want to rebuild our case. Our first argument was about self-expression and development. Our opponents said to it that there are lots of bad people and they will punish children who make this content. But first of all, let's remind that in our community nowadays we are trying to condone and
Get rid of.
remove toxism in our community. So next, what I want to say to rebuild our second argument. It was about free access to information, in which our opponents said about that children wouldn't want to learning and will just watching funny videos. But as I say in point and others, if you are statistically children and have problems with your homework, your parents will say to you that you have problems with homework, with school, you should fix it. You will go to your social medias or just to internet and find information, because it's more easily, yes.
How did you can check the video formats? How the parents can check the formats which I saw? I can say yes, I watched the.
Okay, understand. So first of all, the wrong informationally videos are not less popular than videos like we have a cool channel in YouTube that gives free online lessons and it's checked information, and these videos are more popular than the videos where wrong information. So now also what they say to our second argument about quality of these videos. But as I say, the videos with wrong information are not that much popular as with good information. Правильно. Right information. So, okay.
How do you distinguish right information from bad if it's really hard to check on the internet?
Okay, as I say, that with good and right information, videos are more popular. And as this social media works, how they show you the most popular videos that now are popular. And if you search in something like math, how to solve this premiere, and then you will find the most popular answer. So now I want to present you my third argument. It's about alternatives, surrounding and positive role models. First of all, communication on the internet will help you to communicate in real life. If you are a closed person and it's difficult for you to make friends in real life or start communication, then you can try to start communication on the internet with people with similar hobbies on else, because you will know that these people like same things as you. So then this will help you to develop social skills. Also, you can find a club in your city using social media, and then you can start to improve on social skills more, like speaking face to face. So, next what I want to say is that there are a lot of good bloggers on the internet that do charity for people, and many children can take them as role model. As an example, I use such blogger as Mr. Beast. Looking at how he donates a lot of funds to okay. Looking at how he donates a lot of funds to help people, the child can be inspired. Will try to study, get a well-paid job, and help people. All this will greatly affect the child and his consequences. That's why we totally believe that social media is being an effective tool in building the minds of children, and it's not bad. Thank you for your attention.
Please welcome the third speaker of the proposition team.
Okay, greetings, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Vlada. I'm the third speaker of the proposition team, and I would like to start my speech with refutation of arguments of our opponents and then rebuild our own arguments. So their first argument was about self-expression, opportunities to show yourself to the world and become a better person, understand yourself, etc., etc. But it had three main points, in my opinion. First, about opportunities. Second, about finding like-minded people and community. And the third, about expressing and exploring different cultural differences. So, to the first point. Making your appearance on the internet and expressing yourself there comes with a lot of expectations to yourself as a person in the first place, because you see all those people having a lot of clout, receiving a lot of compliments, nice comments, feedback, shares, starting their own businesses when they are 15-year-olds, and etc., etc. But however, kids that are only starting to be exposed to social media don't quite understand how hard it is to be an influencer or a public person on the internet. They don't understand how much it takes to become promoted, to be actually shown to a lot of people, and since now all platforms are overloaded with content creators, it's really hard to get into the industry in your niche, or take your own niche as a new beginner content creator who is also a child that isn't really relevant to the majority of social media users. Not to mention that, yes, you can really find a community that might be someone who is like-minded to you, but it also comes with competition and hypocrisy of the internet. Not to say that people there are all bad or something, no, it's just the algorithm versus what you're told is really different, because they say, take your own time, It's okay, you will achieve success eventually. But it's actually always a race for cloud, a race for progress, a race for success and competition, and no one really tells you about that. And people who are starting to share what they do as children aren't prepared for that. It's very harmful for them, and it builds this idea that if they don't succeed immediately, if the videos don't blow up and they don't magically become successful, then they aren't worthy at all. The third part about culture isn't really relevant to you expressing yourself, because really less people are focusing on, like, I am this part of culture and I will want to tell you about my cultural differences. No, they're usually telling about their hobbies and stuff like that. Now to the second argument, free access to information. We are not arguing that internet is a great space that has a lot of resources. Yes, they are free, mostly yes. But however, it's not anyhow reflecting how it is a good tool to build the minds of children. It's only a good part of the internet. And now let's really talk about how it influences the minds of children as a tool. It makes them believe that they are free to receive any kind of information of any question at any time. And it causes problem in the future and in school as well, because why should I sit 45 minutes and listen to that waiting for this answer to be, to this question to be answered when I can just Google everything? Why should I strive for more and go to places that can give me information if I have all the information in my hands right now since I'm 3 years old and up to my adulthood? Not to mention that most people aren't really looking for educational information until they grow older and are interested in some professional spheres. But yes, truly, kids that are still in school are also looking for that, but only when they are struggling with something. And also, rarely. They get the point, they fix the problem, they rewrite the homework from ready homework sites, and that's about it. Because if you look at most educational videos that aren't about preparing for exams, just educational videos like solving this problem, they usually have 30 to 200 views, and those views were made throughout like 10 years. So you can tell that those aren't really popular, nor relevant, nor oftenly used or recommended to the people from any ages. Now to their third argument, that was about positive role models and good information on the internet being more popular than bad information, because that's how algorithm works apparently, but no. So the most popular information doesn't equal good information. It equals entertainment, it equals relevant, and a few other things, thank you. Yes, and it even makes the situation worse, because when we appreciate only the entertainment and relevant content, all the other content kind of fades away, melts away, and even if you are looking for something good, it's less likely to be found, because everything will be filled with quite similar, very bright thumbnails, loud posters, and you will be really struggling to find something different, since that's the trend nowadays. Now I would like to rebuild our own arguments, and our first one was about parental issues. Our opponent said that parents have experience and they know what they are doing, and them knowing how to use social media is actually really cool because they are close with their kids that way, but that's not true. That could be good if they would be using social media intentionally, showing specific videos, knowing that it will help their kids improve or learn something or entertain, but without harming their mental state. But it's unfortunately not used like that. It's not used very consciously. Teachers and parents just give this to create a distraction. And if all your information that you consume throughout the years from childhood is merely a distraction, then you stop processing what information is truly important and what is something to pass the time. It's becoming really hard to distinguish the line between what's right and wrong and what's important or what's not. Not to mention that even if you are looking into some educational content that is in shorts format to be more popular, to get more reach, you're less likely to remember that. Because when you're scrolling, it's about very different content. It's not recommended to similar topics like long-term ones. You can see an educational video, you scroll, you see a cat video, you scroll, you see a girl dinner, and then you can't really understand what was it. You see 15 seconds of educational content and then you forget about it. You click to another topic and forget what it was. Not to mention that it's not really controllable what you see, because I highly doubt that all the parents will ask their children to give them their phone, scroll through entirety of the shorts things they saw, scroll through all of their conversations. First, it's unhealthy and it will be very bad if they did so. Second, it's really time consuming and they just wouldn't do that, so they can't analyze what their children are seeing, and they can't say if what they are showing to their kids is okay and it will be influencing them in a good way and what's not. Our second argument was about manipulation, and our opponents to that said that it's not really a problem because kids will merely ask their friends or parents for advice. First of all, usually when you see problems and you're a child, you don't want to admit that you have problems. You want to seem more adult-like, you want to seem more independent, and you will less likely try to actually ask for help than try to manage it on your own and make the situation worse. Also, manipulation in social media isn't always recognizable. You might not even know that you're being manipulated. You might just be getting some information, you might be agreeing with it and be like, does that make sense? Yeah, I'll believe you, you are pretty, you have a good quality of the video, and a nice thumbnail, so why not? But in actuality, you're being provided very questionable content with a nice filler, but in our audiographic world, it's enough to be listened to and respected. Our third argument was about introverts and mentality, and our opponent said that it's okay because we can base some limits, but first of all, as we all know, the forbidden fruit tastes the sweetest, and it's actually social media that can, 15 seconds please, that can show to children how to avoid these limits, how to break through the parental control apps, and spend more time on social media and get more clout for the people who create this kind of content. That's all I wanted to say. Thank you for your attention.
Please welcome the third speaker of the opposition team.
So, good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Ola, the third speaker of the opposition team. And I would like to start my speech with the refutation of my dear opponent's arguments. Their first argument was replacing parental role, where they talked that nowadays a lot of parents leave their children to the social media instead of actually bringing them up. However, to which we'd like to say that parents are obligated by law to bring up their children in the right way. And just leaving their children to surf the net is child neglect. It is punishable by law in many countries. So their second argument was about manipulating children's minds, where they said that in social media there's a lot of information, there's a lot of people who would that children can be brought up with questionable morals because of that. But we'd like to say that the children who were brought up with internet, with social media, are more likely to distinguish between what information is good and what is bad, because they're brought up to see this amount of information. And when you see such information, you compare it to what you hear from others, people, from your parents, and children really just learn by themselves to distinguish information. Also, nowadays, almost everyone talk about how there's a lot of misinformation and manipulation on the internet, and children also hear about that. In a lot of schools, teachers, there are some devoted lessons by the teachers that talk about manipulation, misinformation, and children that teach children that not everything on the internet is right. Their third argument was that main audience of the short videos are children who watch those videos for sure impact of dopamine on them. That is, and that is of course true, but when you get used to this feeling, it becomes blank, even for the children. They don't really get that satisfaction, and they start to search it from other things like communication, etc. Yes.
That is kind of the problem. They no longer can enjoy it, and that leads, but they still want it from the same thing, leading to something similar to withdrawals of psychotic substances or other sources of pleasure.
By saying that children get used to it, it's just that they stop feeling that this same satisfaction with short-term dopamines, and they start searching in. There are a lot of other ways, except that we are talking about children. Children have no access to such things, and they start to communicate. They start to read nowadays. Also, this topic about short dopamines is also brought up on the internet, even in short content, which is quite ironic. But yes, children also see that this is wrong, and a lot of people, a lot of bloggers just refuse to make short content, even bloggers that are popular among kids. And well, kids tend to follow what their favorite ones says. So now I would like to reveal our arguments. Our first argument was, thank you. Our first argument was self-exploration and development, where we talked about opportunities given by the social media, to which our opponent said that firstly, in social media, their community is quite toxic, but nowadays we all are taught that we should accept everyone. On social media, everyone talk about how you have to be nice to everyone, and in most cases, the content which is made by children is watched by the same children. The same children who also see this content about being nice to everyone. And a lot of children like to support each other because they also, because children are, in generally, are more nice because of the content they see. Also, so they said that, where we also gave an example that children can learn about different cultures on the internet, to which our opponent said that this content is not quite popular. However, to which we would like to say that no, it's popular, it's just niche. There are a lot of popular content creators who on their blogs, channels, just talk about the cultures, how they're different, etc., etc. Our second argument was free access to information, to which our opponent said that there's a lot of misinformation on the internet and not everything can be trusted, to which we would like to say that yes, there's a lot of. And because of this amount of information, children learn by themselves that not all information is true. They learn to check information, they learn what sources might be reliable or might not, they learn what kind of appearance of information is suspicious. They understand that all the sounds too bright or too colorful is all, in a lot of cases, is not like it. So this is why this is why we believe that social media this is why we don't regret social media being the efficient tools in bringing up our children, and we think that we should just accept it and use it. Thank you very much for your attention.
Please welcome the
Good morning, good evening, dear ladies and gentlemen. My name is Slava. I want to say thank you for this amazing game. In this game, we have five clash points. First was about access to information. We were speaking about that you can freely find any information that you need in the internet. Our opponent said that children wouldn't want to find information and then will better look at funny videos, at which we said that if you are in school age, you need to